Good morning, Jairam sir and others.
Good
I am
morning.
Suman Datta from PRCI Rahul Class chapter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Jairam sir. Michael here.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, sir. I am Tachat Shashindran from Palakkad, Joint, sir.
Welcome, Sashi. This is Rajendran.
Good morning, Tachat Sachindran. Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
I think there is some connectivity issue. I'm sorry, I think there is some connectivity issue. We'll get back to you now.
Which is no issues. Let's go ahead with the program.
Okay.
Sorry for the technical issues. Now, let me invite Mr. Ramsi Menon, the Director of YCC Kerala, to deliver the welcome address. A postgraduate in Marketing Management and Marketing Communication, with professional exposure to advertising, sales, marketing, he co-founded Kerala's first professional event management and wedding planning company, Impresario, in 1995, and Impress PR in 2010. An eminent resource person in the area of management and mass communication, and a knowledge specialist in the syllabus updating team to education institutions. We are very happy to have you in our midst today. I invite you to welcome the gathering.
Good morning, all. Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, Chairperson and Managing Director of ASAP Kerala, Dr. Sister Gisela George, Principal, Mercy College, our own Chairman Emeritus and Chief Mentor, Mr. M.P. Jairam, our National President, Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, Mr. Kuti, our National Secretary General, and a host of PRC officials, Dr. Sheena John, the Associate Professor Mercy College, Department of English, and Sridevi Menon, the faculty coordinator, and also the assistant professor of English in Mercy College, and Ramachandra Menon, PRCI Palakkad chairman, Palakkad chapter chairman, and teachers of Mercy College, students of Mercy College, and all of us enjoyed today by coming into this program. All the YCC members and the YCC chapter faculty coordinators and all the PRCI team. It's a very important day for PRCI, Public Relations Council of India, when PRCI coming to Palakkad again with the second chapter in Mercy College, and a college which is actually has produced a very, very illustrious alumni, including Olympian P.T. Usha and a lot of athletes, Sarama, Valsama, all actually the medal winners in for the country in Asian Games and the international games. And of course, a very famous dancer and a cultural specialist, Medal Devika. And we are very happy. PRC is very happy to come to this college with the concept of Young Communicators Club. Young Communicators Club, the bridge between the industry as well as the institution. And let me move to my duty of welcoming the dignitaries. The chief guest of the day. I feel we are all honored and blessed to have Dr. Usha Titus, because she's the one person who has been bringing a lot of changes in the education sector, especially in the higher education, especially when she was the former principal secretary of higher education. Now she is heading the additional skill acquisition program ASAP, which is not connected to what we are trying to do through ICC, rather making the students, the industry ready. Ma'am, it's an honor for us to be with you on this day, and a hearty welcome to you, ma'am. And of course, the most important person of the day, our principal, Reverend Sister, Dr. Jisala. With her blessings, I think we are starting this chapter in Mercy College. Sister, welcome to this occasion. Dr. M.P. Jairam, the chairman and emeritus and chief mentor of PRCI. The strength and the fuel to go forward for all of us. Jairamji, welcome to this occasion.
Namaste, sir.
Vinay Kumar, Dr. Vinay Kumar, our national president, showed us actually how to lead from the front and inspire us on a very day-to-day basis. Dr. Vinay Kumar, welcome to this meeting. Mr. U.S. Kuti, our Secretary General, who is actually making a lot of contribution into the movement, and especially on the YCC front. Mr. Kuti, a hearty welcome to this meeting.
Thank you, Ram.
Of course, we have two people. One is Geeta Balsara from Bombay, and Mr. Devendran, our own PRCI official, but a corporate communication specialist, very senior corporate communication specialist. Today, we will be talking to the students on the subjects of PRCI. And I welcome Geeta as well as Mr. Devendran to this occasion. And next, Dr. Sheena John. She is the one who actually initiated this in the beginning, and then hand over the baton to Dr. Sridevi. And we are happy we are here. Dr. Sheena, welcome to this function. And, thank you, sir. And of course, Dr. Sridevi, the faculty coordinator, who is actually on a day-to-day basis, every hour she actually thinks of the YCC. And welcome to you on this occasion. And our own Palakkad chapter chairman, Mr. Ramachandra Menon, hearty welcome to you to this occasion. And I welcome all here, all the PRCI team, the teachers of the college, the students of the college, rest of the YCC chapter members, rest of the YCC faculty coordinators and department heads, all a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we move on into our inauguration ceremony, we would like to show a video on our college. So kindly wait for the presentation.
Kindly unmute yourselves, everybody, so that there will be no disturbances.
Devi teacher, can we go ahead with the program and see the video a little later?
Yes, sir. Mama.
Thank you, sir. I consider it a great honor to invite Dr. Usha Titus IAS, Chairperson and Managing Director, Additional Skill Acquisition Program, Kerala, has graciously accepted our invitation to inaugurate the event. An exceptional officer, Dr. Usha Titus joined the service after graduating from Willow Christian Medical College with an MBBS, MD, and a postgraduate degree in general medicine. Ms. Usha Titus is unforgettable to the people of Palakkad because she was the first woman to become our district collector. Later on, she went on to become registrar of IIT Madras, where she had a major role in its infrastructural development. She has left her mark in every department she has worked in. As the Health Secretary of Kerala, as the Environment Secretary, and as the Principal Secretary, Higher Educational Department, Kerala, she was successful in bringing groundbreaking changes. May I request you to inaugurate this event and grace the occasion with your inspiring words.
Madam, you are muted. Please unmute.
Respected Dr. Sister Gisala George, Principal, Dr. Sheena John, Head of Department, Dr. Sridevi K. Menon, members of Public Relations Council of India, other faculty, staff, parents, well-wishers, and dear students. It gives me great pleasure to be with you this morning. Mercy College is a re-accredited college which has guided and provided value-based education to thousands of young women and transformed their lives in that rural part of the country. In this journey of 57 years, the college has reached several milestones. And today is yet another, the inauguration of the Young Communicators Club. Let me tell you today of a couple of movies. The movie King's Speech won the Oscar for the Best Picture in 2011. It narrates the story of King George VI. Colin Firth, who enacted that role, won the Oscar for Best Actor. King George VI was not in direct line of succession for the throne. He also had a stammer. But one day, his brother abdicated the throne, and so he becomes the king. It is wartime. He is worried how he will reach out and communicate with the people. But with the help of his speech therapist, the king succeeds in communicating and conversing with the people and steering the country through the war with bold steps and admirable leadership skills. The second movie is the 2007 Malayalam blockbuster Katha Parayumbo. Barber Balan is not just financially poor. He is poor in communication too, in communicating with the department for a loan, with his wife and children and the villagers about his relationship with superstar Ashok Raj. And finally, his inferiority complex results in ineffective communication with the superstar's staff, and so he does not get an appointment with them. In contrast is Ashok Raj, who gives a stirring speech, modulating his voice and even tearing up as he talks about life, friendships, people, and his long-lost friend. For all social beings, communication is essential for exchanging thoughts and ideas and growing together. Effective communication skills mark out a wonderful teacher, a great politician, a top PR manager, and lasting friendships, and definitely lasting marriages. I now head Additional Skill Acquisition Program Kerala, as the young lady introduced me, a company that was created to facilitate acquisition of industry-led additional skills to enhance the employability of students and the general community. The India Skills Report 2021, prepared by a group of organizations led by People Strong, CII, UNDP, AIU, AICT and others, and based on the feedback of over 5 lakh students spread over campuses and a cross-section of employers, shows us that only 45.9% of graduates are found employable. This is a decline from 46.21% in 2020 and 47.38% in 2019. BTech graduates were found more employable than others. Still, it is below 50% at 46.82%. Women candidates were found more employable than men. Yet, it is the men who land more jobs. On an average, 64% of all professionals are men, while only 36% of the workforce officially are women in India. To understand this gap between what is required and what is available, we need to understand that the job market is ever changing. The main driver for this is technology. And technological innovations have become faster and cheaper, making traditional jobs and skills redundant. So workers and employees have now got to switch to sectors and roles that they did not study for. In an age of disruptive technologies that throw out existing markets and value networks, students need to learn and develop skills to be effective at work and to do jobs that do not exist today. The market requires, therefore, individuals who can assess, analyze, create solutions, and communicate effectively to quickly respond to big shifts in a way that companies can operate and work will get done. And what are these critical skills that a traditional classroom or university fails to impart? Critical thinking and problem-solving skills, skills of team building, communication skills, and decision making. We also call many of these skills as soft skills. These are the employability enhancement skills that are common across a range of sectors and jobs. ASAP Kerala places students in jobs. The more we have tried to place students and watch their career growth, the more we realize the importance of soft skills. Many a time, it does not matter how stellar the grades are, but being able to communicate one's ideas and worth is more important for success. What the management of Mercy College, the Department of English along with PRCI is starting today is to help develop this vital skill in the students. I understand that the department is already running Alphabet, a community extension project wherein communicative skills classes are offered to the students of Pallipuram LP School. The Young Communicators Club is another step to help build our society. The movie King's Speech teaches us some valuable lessons. First, we got to admit that we have a problem. I have a problem in communicating effectively. Two, there is a solution ahead. I should be determined to overcome my problem. Third, we should seek help for it, to rectify my stand, to speak fluently, to use the right expressions. And finally, I must persevere at it. Demosthenes did not become the most famous orator in Athens overnight. He had a lot going against him. He was orphaned at the age of 7. He could not receive gymnastic education, which was mandatory at that time due to health issues. And he had a stammering pronunciation. But he decided to be an orator, to overcome his speech problems and to be relevant and important in society. So he practiced speaking in front of a mirror, on the beach, and while running. My dear students, you don't have to hide yourself like Demosthenes. You can actually practice your art of speaking with other like-minded students through the Young Communicators Club. Remember that embedded in the lives of successful people, be it movie stars or CEOs or public relations managers or teachers, is the need for lifelong learning and learning anywhere and anytime, courtesy the advances in technology. Let me close with the familiar story of Manya Prakash Singh, closer home. Born in UP, her father was an auto rickshaw driver. He moved to Maharashtra, where she had her early school education. She was very bright, but she had to make do with hand-me-down clothes and old textbooks. She wanted at that age to be able to study with new books, wear new clothes, and pay her school fees in time. Although she was a bright student, she ran away to Bombay at the age of 14 and started working part-time in the Pizza Hut. And when she joined college, she continued to wash utensils in the evening and continued to talk to people. During her college years, she auditioned for the beauty pageant Campus Princess for more than 10 times. And she was rejected for not speaking English well. And of course, for not possessing conventional good looks as well. She persevered. She worked on her communication skills and her ramp skills through YouTube videos and by talking to people as she waited on them. And then she started getting modeling assignments. In 2020, she won the Miss India UP title, which was her passport to the VLCC Femina Miss India 2020 contest. And in early 2021, she was crowned the Miss India first runner-up. She writes, "My blood, sweat and tears amalgamated into the courage to pursue my dreams." So my dear students, let this YCC enable a lot of you to empower yourselves with the much needed communication skills to enable you to live up to your full potential, to pursue your dreams and find yourself in fulfilling jobs wherever you are. May God bless this college and each one of you students and the teachers who are guiding them. And a big thank you to PRCN for coming forward and starting this YCC in colleges. Thank you.
Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mrutangamaya Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Usha Titus IAS, for those highly inspiring words. It's certainly an honor and privilege for us to have got the opportunity to listen to a stalwart in the field of civil services. Your stellar career and dedicated service will remain a source of inspiration for future generations who wish to serve this country. Thank you, ma'am. Now, let me invite Mr. M.D. Jairam, Chairman Emeritus and Chief Mentor, PRCI, to address the gathering. Mr. Jairam was the Director, Corporate Communication, Karnataka Power Corporation. He was also the press advisor to Sri S.M. Krishna, former Chief Minister of Karnataka. Mr. Jairam is a veteran in PR and communication, and presently he is the PR advisor of NTPC.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sure you're all hearing me. It's audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. My dear Usha Titus, CMD of ASAP Kerala, Dr. Gisha George, Principal, Geeta Balsaram, our dear Vinay Kumar, Sheena Jose, Associate Professor, Sridevi Menon, Professor Sridevi Menon, Ram Menon, our Director, YCC Kerala Chapter, Geeta Shankar, our Secretary, US Kuti, Mr. Ravindran, who is also our Senior Vice President of the National Executive and today is one of the speakers, Ramchandra Menon of Palakkad Chapter, Mr. JJ from Rourkela, Mahima Verma, and Aparnas, and our Director YCC from Hyderabad, Michael, Suman Datta from Rourkela, and other dignitaries who have joined from different parts of the country, different part of the chapter. I am very happy today to inaugurate this YCC chapter. I can't calculate because every day there is a chapter opening in, it's a very happy moment. I think it is the 8th one in Kerala. Thanks to Mr. Menon, the growth is very, very fast. And other part also, Chandigarh, Kolkata, Bangalore and everywhere, we are getting a lot of chapters opening now and then. Thank you so much for showing interest. And today I am happy to formally inaugurate this first college for women, Mercy College Palakkad, its YCC wing. I declare open this now. And my dear friends, I was hearing Madam Usha that she was telling about effective communications and skill development, etc. I am really happy because this college has produced the brilliant people in sports and other dancers, etc. like PT Usha, Valsamma, Saramma, and Devika, famous dancer. Such people have come out from this vicinity. It's a really, to be happy with. 57 years of service. They have done a lot of work, and people like to learn in this vicinity, and people rush for this kind of colleges. And I'm very happy with that. And I'm continuing with the footnotes of Madam Usha that regarding skill development and other things. We must focus on enhancing the understanding of what our communication profession is all about. Building relationship with public and enterprise that goes beyond publicity. We have to determine what we are and what we do, our value system, our value proposition, etc. to break from cluster and shine above the competitors. We must cultivate power mind mapping, power perception, power of focus, power of learning, and power of improvement. When we acquire about the brand of the profession, whole lot of people express good feeling about us, particularly the students. Hence, the answer for all these personality development, branding, and our profession, branding ourselves to get ahead in the competition in the environment. It is very important for the students who are studying this English literature, whatever journalism or corporate communication. Branding is very important for you guys to come out with the professional branding. Each member of your school or the company, when you become a branded soldier, the company or institution or anything, its image will go up. And when you bring certain names, your college also will get a good branding outside. In my opinion, all of us to have to become brands to create an impression and get immediate attention of the marketplace. Therefore, you need to be a person with whom others can enjoy being with you. This is what we are trying to teach in our YCC, and the other speakers who are going to come, they will tell you about YCC and its objectives, etc. It is very happy, see, there are certain reasons I want to tell you for the students of this YCC, get your face known and get your name known. Good listening is also a skill. You have to practice and learn. It will not come. This skill will not come just like that. You will have to study, concentrate your mind, and if you don't set an objective, it's impossible to be successful. Each day is an interview for you. Each day is an interview for you. Why I am telling that there are people watching from all the corners. You have to be, very, very careful on this. You have to be a watchdog and try to learn your surroundings, your friend circles, and you have to build up more friends and more good circles so that you can learn a lot. And you have to stand up for others. You have to be good listener and some speaking sense, and just don't whenever you want to speak, just wait, watch others, and then when necessary only you can talk. That is what very important for a communicator or a PR man. These are all some techniques I thought let me tell you, because it is very necessary for your future. All these things, you get a very good certificate after coming out of this college or is good vicinity. But it is only a certificate for you to enter the marketplace or a company or an institution. But the practical studies, whatever you go out, from the college vicinity, once you go out of the college, you will be blank, because you'll be seeing a big world and you may not be knowing what to do. Of course, yes, you have studied and you know everything, but practical knowledge may not be there with you. Therefore, we thought that we will start a young communicators club, specially to train the people who are just coming out of the college. And our people in YCC, they will teach you. We have a pool of experts who have studied or learned and was there in many companies, experts for more than 40 years. They will come and guide you the techniques about communication, PR or allied subject. My dear young students, I request you all to be a brand soldier, branded student when you come out of this college. YCC will help you definitely. This is what I thought. Let me tell you. I also earnestly urge the academia to join hands with PRCA and YCC chapters in their relevant geographies and initiate research projects also. Such collaboration between communication professionals and the academia would work for mutual benefit. I am assured by the PRCA Governing Council that they would be happy to consider the outcome of such beneficial project in inclusion in our PRCA publications and our Chanakya magazine, and especially we have Kautilya magazine, especially for students to for their extracurricular activities, their hidden talents. You can write to that Kautilya, and we have one editor. He was working for Rourkela steel plant, and now he is the editor of Kautilya magazine. You can directly contact him with your articles. It will be published and you will be known all over the world, because our Chanakya and our publications and our other publications and Kautilya, which has circulated, I mean, all our 40 chapters plus our WCC chapters and opinion makers. You will also get to know from these. With this word, I would like to say one quote of William James and my speech. The great discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitude of mind. So your attitude is very important. So your future lies in your attitude. Kindly keep up and be happy, and welcome to YCC Palakkad chapter, and work with us and be happy. Good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for those encouraging words and gracing this inaugural function with your presence. Now, I call upon Dr. Sister Gijela George, Principal, Mercy College, Palakkad, to speak a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Distinguished Chief Guest, Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, Mr. M.P. Jairam, Chairman, Emeritus and Chief Mentor, Public Relations Council of India, Ms. Geeta Balsara and Mr. Ravindran, the Chief Speakers of the day, dignitaries representing the PRCI, Dr. Vinay Kumar, Ms. Geeta Shankar, Mr. U.S. Kuti, Ms. Chinmay Praveen, Mr. Ramachandra Menon, Mr. Ramsey Menon, Head of the Department of English, Dr. Sheena John, Faculty Coordinator, Dr. Sridevi K. Menon, invited guests, the upcoming office bearers of YCC, faculty, parents, and my dear students. It is a pleasure and pride for our institution today to host the inauguration of the Young Communicators Club, the ambitious venture of Public Relations Councils of India. I thank Mr. Ram C. Menon, Director, YCC Kerala, on this occasion for having given us an opportunity to collaborate with PRCI for the benefit of our students. I thank the management for providing us with all the support and encouragement for this venture. I hope and pray that our combined efforts will introduce our students to the vast area of public relations and communication and mold them into responsible citizens. I wish the Young Communicators Club and the office bearers all the very best. May God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister, for those loving words. Our principal has always been a pillar of support in all the activities of the college. Thank you for joining us, sister. Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, National President, Public Relations Council of India. In fact, the first Malayali to have assumed the position is with us today. Dr. Vinay Kumar has had 4 decades of experience in PR and advertising. He has also been the director of World Communicators Council, vice president and director of PRCI YCC Governing Council, co-founder founder and senior partner guide PR and branding, founder secretary and trustee Pepper Creative Awards Trust. It is a pleasure to have you with us, sir. May I request you to address the gathering?
Good morning, everyone. Principal Sister Dr. Vishala George, Dr. Usha Titus IAS, and all the dignitaries of the college, faculty, our colleagues in PRCI, Jaram sir, and everyone. This is a great opportunity for PRCI to have its 9th chapter in the oldest women's college of Palghar, Mercy College. Public Relations Council of India, with the motto of communicating for a better world, has already spread its wings with 40 chapters pan-India. Starting from Agartala to Kochi, we have chapters. And we are doing a lot of efforts for bettering the communication with programs, regularly conducting programs, workshops, training sessions, and a global communication conclave every year in a different city. This year, it is going to be on September 17th and 18th at Goa. A lot of deliberations, panel discussions, etc. will take place during this conclave. Participants from all over India and also from abroad will be there. Speakers also will be there. It is a great occasion for communicators to meet and greet. So, coming back to the public relations activities, we are now organizing a webinar series. Every Saturday, we are having a webinar of one chapter. Actually, it will go up to the August 28th. Actually, we are preparing for our global meet. We wanted to make our chapters active in live. So we have organized this program. So I request all the YCC new members to participate. As you know, the communication, whether it is interpersonal or intrapersonal, is the lifeline. Whether it is a government or an individual or a company or a corporate, without communication, nothing will happen. So, as youngsters, for your future and career, communication is a must. So, please be involved in our activities. As Jaramji suggested, you can write in our magazines, Chanakya and Kaudilya, and you can participate in our programs. We are planning a lot of activities in Kerala. Ram is heading our Kerala operations. So, at this moment, I wish all the best to the Palghar Medical College chapter of YCC and its activities. And also thank the principal and the faculty coordinator and the HOD for giving us an opportunity to have a chapter there in Palghar. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your best wishes. Now, today we have with us two eminent personalities, Ms. Geeta Balsara and Mr. Ravindran, from the area of public relations to enlighten us on the career prospects in public relations. Ms. Geeta Balsara is a corporate trainer, mentor, entrepreneur, and academician. Having spent over 2 decades in the corporate world of media communication, Ms. Geeta's vast experience and strong communication skills have led her to conduct numerous training sessions for students and mid-level executives. She has taught and trained in various platforms, majorly in the space of communication skills, public relations, and advertising. Geeta's personal experience, coupled with her nurturing persona, makes her a trusted mentor for aspirants across age groups. Ms. Balsara has also served as a CEO at Saubhagya Advertising Service, Mumbai. Her professional experiences gleaned over the years in the advertising, marketing, and public relations space were brought into classrooms as formally structured lectures for students pursuing mass communication studies. She has been a visiting faculty at various colleges in Mumbai. Ms. Geeta conducts personal and group sessions on life skills, preparing youth to face life problems, time management, presentation skills, face interviews, etc., and also holds workshops on content writing. We also have Mr. Ravindran, former GM, Corporate Communication, NTPC. He started his career with All India Radio before joining the NTPC. He also worked at NTPC Kayankulam as senior PRO during the initial phase of its construction and execution. In his remarkable career, ascending from PRO to GM, he has received several awards like the Hall of Fame and Best PR Manager Award from PRCI and PRSI for his contribution to the PR profession. He pioneered the concept of anchoring and creative writing workshops for children. He has conceptualized and produced economical digital in-houses magazines and curated stories that reflected the voices of the employees. An active member of various PR platforms, Mr. Ravindran is also a brilliant creative writer. We look forward to an enriched conversation between these stalwarts, and we welcome you to address the gathering.
So sorry for the interruption. I just have the presence of Mr. Sumit Botra from Chennai chapter. He is the chairman of Chennai chapter. Mr. Ali from ECM from Hyderabad chapter, and Chaya Umesh from Bangalore chapter.
We welcome all of you to this session.
So can I start?
Yes, you can start.
A very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mahima, for the lovely introduction. In fact, I would like to compliment the artist, the designer, who has made a lovely poster, including having our two photographs placed at the left corner. In fact, when I was looking at the poster, I was wondering whether who is going to converse with whom. It was mentioned, conversation with Geeta Balsara. So I just wanted to understand whether I would be speaking to Geeta or whether Geeta would be speaking to me. But Mr. Kuti and Mr. Menon, they are very smart guys. They gave me the brief very clearly, and they mentioned that you only will do the job of asking questions and Balsara will do the rest. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so that is the brief given to me. And since a brief was given to me well in advance, I started looking at some of the books which I had studied probably say 30, 40 years back when I started my career in public relations. In fact, when I started my career in public relations, we had only diploma. So that was also from institute like the Bharati Vidya Bhavan. So I did some homework. I started flipping some magazines, and there I could get a beautiful introduction about public relations, which I thought I could share with all of you. See, public relations profile has grown as an industry over the last few years, and more businesses are coming into the market, and all of them have one common requirement, that is to increase their brands and improve customer engagement. Well, friends, this is where public relations executives come in, and the demand is an all-time high. If you're looking for a challenging career path that is simultaneously exciting, I think public relations is definitely meant for all of you. This is an era of small businesses looking to go big. Such firms are almost always on the lookout for people with good PR skills. And if you have a degree from a reputed institute or from a reputed college like the Mercies, you can get a job in the field with very easily. That too right after your graduation. In fact, if you look at the demand for PR professionals in the coming age is so high that experience hardly matters to small firms. And I would say these are the right places where the young communicators or the young students should get started. Such a high demand for PR professionals, I would say, has resulted in the growth of independent PR agencies. This is constantly opening up more job opportunities, and I'm sure the trend is going to increase in future. So if you are considering a career in public relations, you might be wondering about the different types of PR jobs, trying to get a sense of which one is right for you. Am I right? Okay. The right person, I would say, to talk about today is Geeta Balsara. She is hooked up in this channel, and she's going to speak to us from Mumbai. Well, Geeta, I was keenly listening to the introduction by the student, and I was tempted to ask you this question before we actually embark on our conversation. Could you briefly share your life journey and how you managed to reach so far? Is it all PR and PR all the way?
Thank you, Mr. Ravindran. Thank you, Mahima, for that lovely introduction, and a very, very good morning, good afternoon to all of you here. My pranams to all the dignitaries present here. I truly feel honored to share this platform with all you elite people. Thank you, PRCI, for having invited me here, and especially Kutti, thank you so much. Congratulations to PRCI on the launch of the Young Communicators Club, and my best wishes to all of you. Dr. Usha, Mr. Jairam, and Mr. Vinay Kumar have already emphasized the importance of communication and skill development. I'll just try and add my bit to the long list. At the very beginning, according to me, Kerala is one of the best examples of public relations. When I hear the name Kerala, the very first thought I have is it is God's own country. And I haven't been to Kerala too often, but the couple of times that I've been there, believe you me, I have truly felt excited thanks to this beautiful branding, which is God's own country. So today, thank you for inviting me virtually to God's own country. Okay, now that Mr. Ravindran has given me an opportunity to speak about my life journey as a PR person, let me tell you, actually, yes, Mr. Ravindran, it has truly been PR all the way, starting with my college days. When I was a student in my junior college, I had taken up German as my second language. And that was, I think, one of the starting points of my PR career. Because as a student of German, I was also elected as the secretary of the German Association of the college, which meant that I had to deal with a lot of outsiders, invite speakers, and conduct events. So that, according to me, was really my very first stepping stone towards public relations, which of course then didn't have such a fancy name called public relations. Next, I moved on to a job which was at Sobhagya Advertising. There, I had ample opportunities to do public relation activities for clients. Since we were in financial advertising, we had to, speak about the client to the media and to the general public, especially because they were bringing out IPOs. And when you are bringing out an IPO, the one main thing that you have to impress upon shareholders or the people who are going to put their hard-earned money into your company is about your authenticity, your credibility, and that fell very heavily on our shoulders as a PR agency, advertising come PR. So all our campaigns, be it advertising or PR, had to ensure that we spoke about the credibility of the company in which people could invest. And how did we go about it? We handled one-on-one press meets. We had special media people coming to interview the clients. So we actually had, besides full hall public, press meets, we had to actually organize one-on-one press conferences so that the client had an opportunity to put forth his viewpoint, and specialists like financial magazine journalists got a chance to get an insight into why they were making the IPO and why people should actually put in their monies. My job as a PR executive also meant that I had to draft press notes. So I had to have a very good command over the language, English language. Okay, because in Mumbai, we were mainly giving it out in English or maybe in Hindi. But our first language being English, I had to draft all the press notes. So that was another very important skill that actually I've honed over the years.
Okay.
And of course, as a PR executive, I had to study the markets. I had to study competition. Okay. And based on all the insights gleaned from all the study, then we had to plan our PR campaign. So yes, PR was very important, despite advertising being our main profession. But yes, PR had to be a very important aspect of it.
Right.
And along came my interaction with artists. I worked very closely with artists, and that again was all about PR. I subsequently went on to handling PR for artists as well as handling events for them. And I must say that the goodwill that I had built over the years, unknowingly, again into inverted commas, PR, is what stood me in good stead over the years, because people started approaching me to organize events. And that was purely because of the good relationships that I had built. And even today, the assignments that I am working on as a content writer or a content developer is mostly because of people I've known 20 years and more than 20 years ago. So yes, Mr. Ravindran, my life has actually been all about PR, PR, PR. And in Hindi, as we all know, PR can actually be PR.
Yeah.
PR.
Okay.
So PR to me is all about PR, loving what I do.
Okay, thank you for those loving words. That's excellent, Geeta. Now, I would like to, I would say, divide our conversation into 3 segments. First, let's give the basics, because I find the students are not from what you call media studies background, but they have a subject like journalism and PR as a part of the curriculum. So then we will also talk about, the career opportunities. And finally, the third segment, we will conclude with a few takeaways. Hope that is okay with you.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Right. Okay. So there is an old saying which says, advertising is what you pay for and publicity is what you pray for. So can you briefly tell us the difference between PR and advertising?
It is very interesting, Mr. Ravindran. I too had exactly written the same quote, Advertising is what you pay for, while publicity is what you pray for. Okay? It says it all, actually, because public relations is unpaid publicity, is basically an unpaid activity, while for advertising, you have to pay for the space that you buy, either electronic media or the print media, whatever. Public relations is earned, while advertising can be purchased.
Right.
And that is a huge difference, because when you have to earn something, you have to work doubly hard.
Yeah, true.
And public relations is all about credibility. Like I just mentioned, what we had to do for our clients was building credibility.
Right.
Advertising can become skeptical, because you're paying for it. So, you feel that, okay, I'm paying for the space. I can blow my own trumpet, etc. But public relations is about credibility, while advertising can bring in some amount of skepticism. And lastly, public relations, according to me, is from the heart, while advertising is from the head. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you have been conducting group sessions on life skills and mentoring sessions to guide students and young adults. How do you think you can relate those skills when you dive deep into the world of public relations?
So I have been conducting mentoring sessions, life skills, and also sessions on content writing.
Right.
Okay, even today I take on batches, and either one-on-one or batches. And in life skills, what I really, the very first thing according to me for any person in any field is developing self-confidence. I think once you have self-confidence, you can go out and win the world. So self-confidence, time management, team building, positive thinking, relationship management, leadership, and most important, social responsibility. These are the life skill, some of the topics that I cover. While under mentoring, I help students and young entrepreneurs to to set and find their life goals, knowing their own self-worth, how to, according to me, discipline is something you cannot run away from. So how to inculcate a sense of discipline? What are the core values that are required as part of your life skill is respect, how to accept change, how to face failures, and most importantly, how to create joy from within. These are some of the topics I cover in my mentoring skills. And of course, in content writing, I also help students develop, press notes, etc.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Geeta, see, job prospects in the public relations sector are supposed to be very, very bright in India. See, a career in PR is said to be very, very exciting and rewarding. I'm sure the students who are listening to this also must be keen to know the various career opportunities that are available to them after their graduation. Especially, I would say you may focus on, say, public relations or probably advertising or probably event management.
Sure, sure. Let me tell you the very first thing, mainly to the students, that yes, it is very important that as a PR executive, you have to be equally excited about managing a celebrity or even managing an AGM of a company. Okay, so what you really need to bring to the board is excitement. Be excited about anything and everything that you do. Yeah. Let me quickly tell you about I think I'll quickly tell you about 4 or 5 industries. What would be expected of you as a PR executive? Let me, as I'm speaking to a bunch of mainly young women, okay, I'm going to start with the fashion industry. So as a PR executive, if you are part of the fashion industry, what is your job role? Your job role would be to promote the brand. Most important is to promote the brand, and then to promote the designer, and then to promote the clients who are using those brands. They can become your brand ambassadors. For example, if you've heard about Abu Jani and Sandeep Khosla, their line is of fashion is one of the best in the country. They do a lot of promoting their brand. The designers themselves are known today, and also clients like the Bachchan family, are constantly being promoted in all their, maybe they even do the ramp walk at their shows. So when you're doing PR for fashion, important to promote your brand, promote your designer, and speak about your celebrity clients if possible. For the finance industry, if you are a PR executive in the finance industry, it is very important for you as a PR executive to protect the reputation of the company. Because, like I said earlier, it's all about money. So protect the reputation, make sure that you convey that this is not a fly-by-night operator, and also take care of the stock prices. Okay, you have to see how, as a PR executive, you can put it out as a message to the public that our stock prices are not being manipulated. They are at genuine prices as they are seen in the newspapers and on television. Another industry is the manufacturing industry. It's very important in manufacturing industry to create a rapport with your clients. You can promote your product, through various maybe events and advertising, of course, but you can have quiz contests, you can participate in college programs and give away your products. That is a huge PR exercise. Most important, building relations with your existing customers and your potential customers to be able to sell what you are manufacturing. Yes, today we live in a world where even the education sector needs public relations. So when it comes to the education sector, it is very important to enhance the brand visibility of the institution. You have to ensure that you have the correct information on your web so that people don't have to come to your institute to know everything. So have all the information on the web. Very important to maintain a favorable image so that students will want to be a part of your institution. Because what is public relations? At the end of the day, it's all about perception. Some educational institutions also need to foster tie-ups with foreign universities. That is another important aspect that can be covered through proper public relations. Let me now touch upon the healthcare industry. Why do you need PR in the healthcare industry? Again, to build trust. Okay, you have to emphasize that you are providing quality services. What are the key happenings? If you are a hospital, what are the key happenings? Do you have a new MRI machine that has come in? Are you the one who is doing COVID tests and giving reports at the earliest? What are the achievements of your doctors? So it's very important for a role that PR can play even in the healthcare industry. Sometimes we wonder if non-government organizations, NGO, according to me, an NGO also needs to do a bit of PR. Why? Because an NGO needs to raise funds. What is the public perception that I have about, there are organizations like CRY and which we know about. Now I personally work for an NGO where I'm building their reputation, their image. We are in the business of enhancing sports amongst the underprivileged children. So we keep talking about it so that tomorrow donors can start putting in money and help us raise funds. And of course, it's important that all the good work that is being done by the NGO is known to the public. And lastly, of course, public sector, which Mr. Ravindran knows best.
Yeah. So Geeta, sorry to butt in. Actually, what I wanted to know from you is that suppose if a student wants to enter the world of, say, advertising, so what are the job opportunities you have in advertising world? Can you share something about that?
Sure. See, an advertising agency is made up of different departments.
Right.
Okay. The main departments are client servicing, which is where the person is the interface between the client and the agency. Okay. I, as an account executive, need to understand what my client's requirements are, and then to tailor make the campaigns to suit his requirements so that his objective of being known or to sell his products, etc. Advertising is all about selling products or services. So it is important for me as a PR agency to help him ensure that he is known. So that's where advertising, the account executive's job is to understand what the client wants and then come to the creative department, which is made up of an art director and a creative writer, the content writer, the copywriter. So now the copywriter needs to understand what the brief is and accordingly tailor make the whole message into proper words, enticing words. So that is the job of the copywriter. The art director or the visualizer will translate the same thing into a visual, into a graphic form. Yeah. Right. Then, of course, in advertising, we have the media department, which Mr. Kuti is an expert at. And the media is, of course, you have to select the right newspapers, television channels. So that is the media department. So if you are a PR executive, I think you fit in best in an, if at all you want to join an advertising agency, you can join in as a client servicing executive where you are the interface. Yeah. So that would be, in summation, there are many departments, but these are the main departments which comprise the advertising agency.
Right. What about event management?
I'm sorry?
What about event management? If somebody wants to join an event management company, yeah.
Okay, in event management is more or less the same thing. You have to understand the need of your client and project it in a best possible way, because in event management you have the added opportunity of perhaps having a space that you can utilize, like you have an auditorium or you have a huge ground. So how best can you translate the perception of the client into visuals? Or you can use that space very creatively in event management. And event management, you can also use audio visuals. You can make audio visuals to highlight the achievements of your client. Yeah. So event management again is about perception building, but in a different form. So they all actually boil down to perception building.
Okay. Well, Geeta, you were a CEO of an advertising agency, as I've heard from the introduction. You also interacted with various clients in different levels. And you also mentioned to me that in your growing years, people always said that you're born to be a PR person. So what qualities did they see in you to say this? Is that a skill set that will be useful for the present generation? Can you share something on that?
Yes, definitely. Yes. For some reason, when I was even in college, like I said, my family members would always say, Geeta is cut out to be a PR person. Okay.
Right.
I wondered what that meant. But now when I look back, I think that my personality was mainly, I was an outgoing person. I have always been an outgoing, friendly person. So, as a PR person, it is very important to have certain traits. According to me, they are: one, you have to be very flexible. You cannot say that, yes, be assertive when you think it is right, but also be open to listening to what your client's needs are, because your client understands you best. The client knows his job best, which he's trying to communicate to you. If you have certain ideas that can enhance it, please share it with him. But please first be flexible to understand what his thoughts are. So flexibility, according to me, is something very important. Second is meticulous learning. Any industry that had ever came to us, and in advertising and PR, you are dealing with different industries, different sectors. It's always good to read up on them. It's always important to know what is happening in the industry, what is happening in a particular sector, and how you can better it in your own campaign.
Right.
As far as possible, go on collecting information, because today you may be handling one particular sector, tomorrow you may want to handle another sector. So keep collecting information. Always look at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture here? Today, the client is having a small launch event. Yes, but tomorrow he may want to, translate that into something really big. So always look at the bigger picture. Most important, like I said, building relationships. It's always great to have strong writing skills, because once a client has told you something and you have to put it into a press release, you have to be able to communicate exactly what the client is trying to say. So strong writing skills is very important. And in any profession, of course, honesty and integrity. See, in a public relations exercise, the client shares sometimes very confidential information with you. So you have to have that integrity with you so that you don't go out and speak about it without your client's permission. So integrity, honesty, attention to detail. It may be just one poster that you're designing, but make sure that everything is correct in that, the information is correct in that. And most important, which somebody in mass communication college taught me, is always remember names. When you are dealing with your client, make sure, if need be, make a note of who is who. Okay? Addressing a person with the wrong name can put you off his list completely. So make sure that you remember names, remember how to spell their names correctly, because people can be very touchy about how their names are spelled. Going a step further, you can try, as you build relationships, remember the birthdays and anniversaries of your clients. A small anniversary birthday message tells them that you were thinking about them, you remembered them. It can go a long way in building relationships. And finally, think on your feet, because public relations also means crisis management. So you should be able to think on your feet and come up with solutions whenever it is required. So these are some of the traits which I think I had to bring me to where I am today.
Right. See, Geeta, many students will be interested in taking internships after their degree. See, some of them might prefer to have their internships in their home state itself, and it could be paid, it could be unpaid. So what's your advice to these young people who would like to take up internship just after their graduation?
Okay, I would suggest that each one does something called a SWOT analysis on himself or on herself. We are speaking to a bunch of ladies here. I guess all of you know what SWOT analysis is. SWOT is SWOT: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do a SWOT analysis on yourself. This is a marketing term which is usually done for markets and products, but I personally had started doing SWOT analysis on myself right from maybe 20 years ago. And even today, every 6 months, I do a SWOT analysis on myself, because things keep changing. The world is a very dynamic place. So we also adapt to those changes. So what was my weakness 2 years ago can actually be my strength today. So my advice to everybody is, before you apply for an internship while you're in college, start getting into the habit of doing your SWOT analysis on yourself. Make a list, and this is a list you don't have to share with anybody. This is confidential. This is just to be kept with you. Write down all your strengths. Write down all your weaknesses. From your strengths, you will get an idea. I already told you what are the different industries that you can think about: fashion, finance, education, healthcare, whatever. See what your strengths are and where you will be able to fit in, which industry you can fit in. And once you have done that, look at your weaknesses and consciously try working on your weaknesses and try and convert them into strengths. Opportunities is, which are the industries? Try and find a fit between your strengths and what the opportunities available are. If it's a healthcare industry, try and do a match between your strengths and that. And finally, threats. Threats is something you can drop right now, that you'll need when you are actually in the competitive business. Okay, so according to me, each one should do a SWOT analysis, understand their strengths, weaknesses, and most importantly, once you know which industry you fit in, make a list of all the companies in that industry, in that sector, and you can just start sending out your a little resume. And most importantly, you have to tell them how you can contribute to their company as an intern. It's not always about, please give it to me. It's also about giving back. I have these strengths which match what your company is looking for. So I think I would be a good fit, and always have the confidence. Don't shy away. So according to me, once you've done your strengths, then you can match it with the various industry needs. And that is the advice I would give to anybody who wants to be an intern.
Right. I would only like to add a couple of points with regard to this internship.
Yes.
I think first the children must update their resume.
Yes.
They should also identify the type of internship they would like to take. They should also know the application deadlines. They should also apply for several internships, not that they should be comfortable with applying in one only in Kerala.
Correct.
And they should also do some kind of a homework, like a preparation for the interview. So I think if they can do all this, they will be well prepared to bag an internship at the earliest.
Yeah, like I said, the life skills, those things that are covered in life skills, they can actually start working on themselves.
Right.
And start training themselves, right from how to build your self-confidence, how to face interviews.
Right.
Those are all your preparatory stages.
Right. So before we come to the last segment of our conversation, I have a jaldi fight to Mrs. Geeta.
Oh my God.
I think all of us must be wondering what is this jaldi fight, because all those people who play this tambolo, they would be aware of this. So what I would request from all of you, in fact from Geeta, is that I would require a quick response to the following 5 questions.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'll try my best. I never claim to know that I know everything, but I shall try my best.
Okay. Who is your PR hero?
Who is my PR hero?
Right.
Mr. Ratan Tata.
Ratan Tata, great.
Without doing anything, he does everything.
Right, I agree with you. What is a typical day looks like for public relations?
Oh my God, for a public relations executive, there is no day, there is no night. It is a 24-hour cycle. You have to think about the needs of your client, have it topmost in your mind, and keep working on it. There is no day and night here, sir.
Right, absolutely true. What do employers want?
Well, in any industry, I guess they need integrity and honesty. But in public relations, I think your personality means a lot. When I say personality, it has nothing to do with beauty. It is how confident you are about presenting yourself. So that is something, according to me, is a very important trait besides everything else, because your self-confidence has to ooze.
Right. What's the secret recipe for PR success?
So, secret recipe for PR success.
Right.
Well, I guess it is all about just having a smile on your face even when you are handling a crisis management.
Okay. What is feared most by people?
Well, in PR, letting down the client's expectations. In PR, the biggest fear is letting down your client's expectations, who has come to you to help him build an image or to change the perception. So I think the biggest fear is of letting down your client.
Well, okay, that's wonderful, Geeta. Now, before we come to our final destination, what is the takeaway message you would like to share with our newcomers? Probably, like I would say, what are the tips you would like to tell them?
Well, I think we have covered more or less everything during this conversation, but I think according to me, my last takeaway to all of you today would be in a constant state of acceptance. Whatever happens, please remember that it is for your best. Okay, the good, the bad, the ugly. The moment you have decided in your head that I am going to accept whatever comes my way as a blessing from the Lord, I think it's going to be, it'll be a beautiful journey, because life cannot be a bed of roses. There are disappointments that will come your way. There are interviews you will not get through. There are clients whose expectations you will not be able to fulfill. But please keep working hard and just keep that sense of acceptance in your mind. Tomorrow, if a client pulls you up for something, accept it. If a client praises you for something, accept it. So I think a sense of equipoise is something which I would want each and every, because you have to keep your head level. You have to be level-headed in PR. You can't afford to, mar your client the wrong way. So it's very important to be level-headed and to be in a state of acceptance all through. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember that you are the designated driver of your career bus. While others will help along the way, the person responsible for getting you to the end destination on time is you. Look out for mentors who can guide you, seize the given opportunities, and push yourself out of your comfort zone. I think you have boarded the right bus from Palagat to Trivandrum, along with Sheena John, and courtesy the YCC PRCI. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And Geeta, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you
I
very
have
much.
just one last remark to make besides the sense of acceptance. It's very important to always believe and trust that the best is yet to come.
Thank you.
So I would like to close on the note of the best is yet to come and wishing each and every person here the very best, especially my dear students. I'm available if any one of you needs to, hone your skills. So thanks to each one of you for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Geeta Balsara. Thank you, Mr. Ravindran. That was certainly a lively discussion on career prospects in public relations. I'm sure students would like to clarify their doubts on the topic. So the session is open for discussion. Students may interact with the keynote speakers now. May we have the questions? please?
Hi, I'm Gayatri, and my question is, what kind of skills are to be acquired in order to be excel as a PR practitioner?
Sorry, Gayatri, I can't hear you. What kind of?
What kind of soft skills are to be acquired in order to be excel as a PR practitioner?
I kind of did mention, but I shall repeat myself. One is developing your self confidence, which is very, very important. Time management, how to build a team. Most important, have a positive attitude, positive thinking. Relationship management is another very important thing. You cannot keep taking or having arguments with your clients. So relationship management, you should know where to draw the line. And most important, whenever you're working on any campaign, make sure you're aware of the social responsibility that goes with the campaign. Yeah, so these are some of the skills that one needs to develop as part of the not just the PR profession but any profession. Thank you, Gayatri.
Okay, ma'am. Any other questions?
A very warm good afternoon to all. Ma'am, my question is, what is the actual difference between PR and propaganda?
Well, propaganda is more about, according to me, PR is more about, when you are trying to win the hearts of people and in a very honest way. When I hear the word propaganda, it's more about politics. So there you're going to say things for people to see it in your point of view, whether you are going to fulfill it or not. So more of a propaganda would be like you want something to be known just for the sake of it being known. But public relations is something that always has an underlying softer touch to it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
मैं देख लेती हूँ मैं बाद में उठा
Very good.
I think we have another question.
क्या ये जो बोल रहे हैं ना उनका ये वॉल पे वो है स्क्रीन मतलब फोटो है.
I request the people who are not talking to kindly unmute so that there will be no disturbances. Sorry, mute so that there will be no disturbances.
Do we have any more questions?
Ma'am, I have a question to you.
Yes, Dr. Sridevi ji, please tell me.
Ma'am, the institution I'm the person teaching journalism here,
Wow.
and the students have advertising and PR as part of their curriculum. But I have always felt that I don't know if you know about Palakkad. Ours is a semi-urban district where there is no much opportunity for corporates to come in. There is only a small industrial area here, nothing other than that. So we, the Department of English, we have always faced challenges in getting our students introduced to the brighter side of the corporates, brighter side of the industry. So we have been trying for internship, as you had mentioned before, but nothing has materialized. So how do we actually go about it? How do we build a relation? We are actually glued to the academic area, academic section. That is the greatest limitation we face. So how do we break the barrier, and how do we take our children and put them into the water, like push them into this the real field out there?
According to me, I think, there are a lot of platforms such as LinkedIn, etc. Okay, I'm sure through all your contacts, there are people in PR, advertising, events industry across your LinkedIn pages. So maybe if your students can start having chats with them, because yes, it is very difficult for one is doing cold calls. You just keep sending your CV to different companies in different sectors after doing the SWOT analysis, once you know where you can fit in best. Yeah, but the students, as a faculty, maybe you all can help people identify people from the LinkedIn, places like LinkedIn. There are a lot of professionals there. So it could help your students to get a slightly broader view. That will be their way of getting out of Palakkad. They can actually connect with people from the industry, start talking to them, and then maybe start sending resumes. So that might open up more doors for internships rather than just waiting for companies to come and recruit your people. That's another way. If you have contacts in the LinkedIn and other places, you can request those companies to come and do a recruitment camp in your college. So there are actually many ways one can go about it, but it's important to actually get in touch with people from the industry. And today, fortunately, we have platforms like LinkedIn and other such places where professional help, you can reach out to organizations, like FICCI and some of these professional industrial organizations, where I'm sure they will be able to help your students. Once you, but before you approach them, it's important that you identify which student is perfect for which industry. I think that you have to bring them up to that stage. And then you can approach these organizations, like I said, ASSOCHAM and FICCI, and there are a lot of these organizations, manufacturing organizations, where you can reach out to them and request them maybe to even conduct a mock interview with your students. So there are a lot of things that can actually happen virtually today. So and everybody is open to having virtual meetings, so you can conduct a lot of things virtually, but reach out to people from the industry is would be my take on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Sridevi, I think you are actually on the right platform. You must take advantage of PRC, YCC. I think Mr. Ram Menon and Mr. Jairam is also there with us today. We'll be able to help you at least to get some kind of internship. And as Madam was telling, your children should be what you call digital savvy. There are a lot of opportunities coming up. And if you look at the digital pages of different organizations, internships are available. Only thing, they should keep their eyes and ears open.
Yes. Once they have clarity on which industry they fit in.
Thank you. Is there any other question the students would like to ask?
Yes, ma'am. What are the skills needed to become a good communicator?
I guess we have gone over that, dear Anu, when I spoke about life skills and when I spoke about, setting your goals. To become a good communicator, the first thing that you need is self-confidence. Only when you have the confidence can you face people, can you face interviews. So I think, according to me, the number one that comes top of list to become a good communicator is developing self-confidence. Okay. Language skills, if preferably English, if you can, have writing and speaking skills of English, because communication is all about that. Listening. Listening is again very important. That is another trait that all of us need to, be fully aware of. That it's not just when I'm speaking, but I also need to listen to when somebody else is speaking. Relationship management is again about being a good communicator. Social responsibility. Yeah, so these are some of the traits. So it's very difficult. These are all the life skills, soft skills. We just call them by different names. But these are the skills that are required of anybody who's stepping into industry. I hope that answers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Anu.
you, ma'am.
We have a question in the chat box. What is the role of public relations in the post-COVID environment?
Okay, I love the term that you've used post-COVID because it's still not there. But yes, hopefully we'll get to a post-COVID phase very, very soon. See, today there are a lot of companies, if you will realize, if you notice, there is a lot of PR that is already being done. For example, I know of an organization that has laid off 200 people because of no business. And what I have realized is there are a lot of industries that have stepped up, okay, and are actually putting out messages on social media platforms telling them that if you have been laid off by this company, please write to us. I think that's a very, very beautiful need of the hour PR exercise that's going around today in the world. I know that there are companies reaching out to people who have been laid off, because they know that if this is the company that they worked for, they would be having the required skills. So a lot of companies are actually reaching out on social media, specifying that if you are one of the unfortunate ones who has been laid off by this company, please reach out to us. We might have a job opportunity for you. So this has been one of the most beautiful fallouts of the post, or rather, the pandemic actually, what has happened. So also there are a lot of companies, as we all know, who are doing their own bit of CSR during this time. Maybe right from supplying hand sanitizers. Like I said, I'm very closely associated with this NGO. We just received about 20,000 sanitizer bottles and masks, okay, which we have distributed amongst the underprivileged in various pockets of Mumbai. That's a great, although it's a humanitarian thing that they are doing, but at the end of the day, it is a PR exercise at the end of the day. Okay, it goes out on their social media platforms, whatever, but the COVID has brought out a softer side to every corporate. And I think that is something that will stay, because somewhere the heartstrings have been touched, have been pulled, a cord has been touched. So I think that although COVID has had its negative impact, there is a lot of positivity also that's coming out of this phase.
Do we have any more questions?
Do we have any more questions?
I have.
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Please do.
Just put it in the chat box if you cannot. I think it's Muralika. Muralika, please put it in the chat box so that Anne can read it out.
I think if there are any further questions.
Ma'am, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Who is this? I cannot see.
Charulata.
Yeah, Charulata. Charulata, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Ma'am, what is the role of human resource manager in public relations?
Human resource manager. it's like any other human resource job, to find the right candidate and to ensure that the candidate fits all the requirements of that particular PR agency, because every PR agency has a different set of clients that they handle. So, because if I'm running a PR agency, I will have clients from different sectors. So the HR person's job is to make sure that he or she hires the right kind of person to be able to service those particular sectors. So that's where again your strengths, weaknesses, the matching of skills will come in for and make life easier for the HR person to hire the right person.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here, one thing, HR and PR somewhere, someplace it is overlapping. In internal communication, HR people, they take the help of the PR people because our communication people are well trained with the internal communication also. So they have to go hand in hand. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Somewhere, someplace, both are in a similar position. So this has to be thought of.
Yes, I agree. Because I personally have been approached by a lot of HR people to conduct soft skills workshops for their people. And yes, so the HR person needs to develop and build skills of the people who are within the organization. So internal communication is something some of the agencies have HR people looking after it. And that's where people like me step in and conduct these sessions for them.
Right. In fact, Charulata, in public sector organizations, most of the PR executives are basically reporting to the HR executives, because the HR executive might be in the level of a director. Probably a PR executive might be in the level of an additional general manager or a GM. So if you look in terms of the hierarchy, a PR executive mostly reports to the HR executive. So your question is valid.
Okay.
But sometimes I differ with Mr. Ravindran. It is not so. In many of the companies nowadays, it is different, groups altogether. Yes. Both of them will report directly to the managing director on various subjects, because HR people are not well versed with the public communication, and they're not. They are within the company level, but they normally don't go out and go to the press or similar activity. So nowadays it is shifting, direct access to the managing director or the CEO, something like that. That's what happening. For example, I was directly under the managing director, and I was on the board also. I was the director of one of the big companies of Karnataka, Karnataka Power Corporation. I was one of the directors on the board also. So this varies from company to company. Most of the companies now, they realize the importance of the PR, and they directly report to the managing director, and they can easily access and think about the future of the organization outside the boundaries of the company.
Yes.
Okay, sir. I hope all the doubts have been clarified. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir, for interacting with us. Now let's move on with our session. Over to Mahima.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Now we are entering the most exciting segment of our program. Meanwhile, let's watch a video.
Hello, Mercy College Palakkad. I am Dr. Soria Roy, Head of the Department of English and Communicative English at All Saints College, Trivandrum. The Young Communicators Club is a great opportunity for young people to learn, collaborate, and build upon the nuances of communication as well as public relations. It's also a wonderful way of opening up vistas of opportunities through interacting with some of the best minds across the country. And I think that the YCC is forming a wonderful fraternity between colleges in Kerala as well as across the nation. So, welcome to this sense of community, and we look forward to hearing more from you. And at this point, I would like to congratulate the head of the department as well as all the officials and the members of the Young Communicators Club. Welcome.
I am Dr. S. Dinesh Babu, Head Department of Visual Media and Communication, Amrita School of Arts and Science, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Kochi. Me and on behalf of YCC student leaders, congratulate the principal, faculty members, faculty coordinators, new office bearers and all students of Mercy College on inaugurating YCC chapter. Our best wishes and let's join hands and make our students a great communicator.
Hello everyone, I'm Soumya John, Head of the Department of Communicative English, St. Teresa's College, Ernakulam. I'm very glad to know that Mercy College, Palakkad is initiating a YCC chapter in their campus. On behalf of the department as well as St. Teresa's College, I convey our best wishes and congratulate the entire team, the management, faculty, the office bearers, and the executive committee of the YCC chapter at Mercy College for all their endeavors. May you be able to cherish, employ, and value the opportunities of YCC in your campus. Congratulations and best wishes to each one of you once again. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Shankar Ganesh, Dean Academics, Lee College of Management. It's my privilege and honor to congratulate principal, faculty members, faculty coordinators, and student members of YCC chapter, Mercy College, Palakkad. It will be a great opportunity for all the students to become a good communicator and to develop their public relations skills. This is a very good and very nice initiative taken at Mercy College. I really congratulate all the team members for taking such a good initiative. I'm also happy to say that Mercy College YCC chapter is the second chapter in Palakkad after Lead College of Management. I wish you all a grand success. Thank you.
I'm Vinay Ajit Kumar, Head of the Department of Communicative English, Chinmaya College of Arts, Commerce and Science. It is indeed a great pleasure to know that YCC is opening a new chapter at Mercy College, Palakkad on 15th of this month. On this occasion, I, on my personal behalf and on behalf of all the YCC members of our college, would like to congratulate and convey our best wishes to the principal, faculty members, and students of Mercy College. Wishing you good luck. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Manu Anthony, Head of the Department of Business Management, St. Joseph College, Devagiri, Calicut. Let me congratulate Mercy College, Palakkad for opening its YCC chapter and all the very best to the office bearers and faculty coordinators there. I'm really happy to see that a good network of YCC is happening all around Kerala, and together I'm pretty much sure that we can work out great synergy. So all the best once again. Have a good day. Thank you.
Hello everyone, greetings. I'm Shanti Matai, Head of the Department, School of Communication, Sacred Heart College, Kochi. I'm glad to know that the YCC chapter is being inaugurated at Mercy College, Palakkad today. I take this opportunity to congratulate and convey the best wishes to the faculty coordinator, office bearers and members of YCC there. Let this be a platform that provides opportunity to our students to learn more and become excellent communicators. Thank you.
We are extremely grateful for your best wishes, dear teachers. Now, I would like to thank all of them: Dr. Sonia Nair, HOD, English and Communicative English, All Saints College, Trivandrum; Dr. Dinesh Babu, HOD, Visual Media and Communication, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Kochi; Miss Soumya John, HOD, Communicative English, St. Teresa's College, Ernakulam; Dr. Shankar Ganesh, Dean, Academics, Lead College of Management, Palakkad; Miss Vinaya Ajit Kumar, HOD, Communicative English, Chinmaya College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kochi; Mr. Manu Anthony, HOD, Department of Business Management, St. Joseph College, Devagiri, Kozhikode; and Miss Santi Matai, HOD, School of Communications, Sacred Heart College, Kochi, for your kind and encouraging words. Now, we would like to present a short video on our college and activities.
Mother of mercy, Mother of light, Mother of wisdom and grace. Mother of mercy, Mother of light, Mother of wisdom and grace. Bless our thoughts, bless our deeds, and flood our lives with thy tender grace. Bless our thoughts, bless our deeds, and flood our lives with thy tender grace. Robed in the radiance of 41, breathing of goodness and bless our thoughts, bless our deeds, and flood our lives with thy tender grace. Bless our thoughts, bless our deeds, and flood our lives with thy tender grace. Wrought in the radiance of love divine, breathing of goodness and truth. Wrought in the radiance of love divine, breathing of goodness and truth. Bearing this chalice of we dare into the brighter morrow. Mother of mercy, mother of light, mother of wisdom and grace. Guide us along, guide us aright, guide us to
That was a small presentation on our college. Now, it is my immense pleasure to invite the faculty coordinator, Ms. Sridevi K. Menon, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, Mercy College, Palakkad, to introduce the office bearers.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, keynote speakers who enlightened us today, Ms. Geeta Balsara and Mr. Ravindran, distinguished dignitaries representing the PRCI, Principal Dr. Sister Gisela George, Head of the Department of English, Dr. Sheena John, and my dear students. I am here to discharge an extremely pleasant responsibility to introduce the Young Communicators Club office bearers before this elite gathering. When the principal and the head of the department asked me to take up the coordination of the Young Communicators Club, it was a mixed feeling of excitement and apprehension that I initially experienced. The COVID pandemic has changed our academic scenario. It has changed our life. It has turned life topsy-turvy, and both the teachers and the students maintain a low profile, meeting only in the monotonous online classrooms. There were a lot of things to be done to organize, discuss, and execute. But a brief conversation with Director Mr. Ramsey Menon and a Google Meet with my enterprising students, we were all set to welcome PRCI to our institution. Let me express my heartfelt gratitude to the PRCI and the management of our institution for making this collaboration possible. Now, I invite you to meet our enterprising members, the office bearers of the YCC Mercy, who are all set to take the oath to become part of the Young Communicators Club. Thank you very much.
I am Mahima Reddy, President of the Young Communicators Club, Mercy College, Palakkad chapter. I am deeply honored and privileged to serve as the President of the club and excited about the good things in the future. Above all, I am grateful to the Public Relations Council of India for starting such a venture to revitalize the communication skill of students, especially during this challenging period. Thank you.
I am Adna, Vice President of YCC Mercy College, Palakkad. I am extremely grateful for being a part of this club. Words cannot express how much this club means to me. Thank you.
Hello, I am Aparna K, the Secretary of Young Communicators Club at Mercy College, Palakkad. I'm privileged to be an active member and I promise that I'll discharge all my duties as the Secretary. Thank you.
I'm Anne Joseph, Joint Secretary, Young Communicators Club, Mercy College, Palakkad chapter. I'm so happy to be a part of this initiative. I'm sure this venture will open up fresh avenues for us.
Hi everyone, I am Muralika. I am the treasurer of this YCC Mercy College chapter. It is a great privilege to be a part of this program because I always wanted to be a part of the society and its pulse. I surely believe that this platform will help us for the self-development and for become socially conscious individuals in this life.
Thank you, ma'am. We move on to the oath-taking ceremony. We have with us today Mr. U.S. Kuti, National Secretary General, PRCI, a PR and advertising professional with 40 years of illustrious career, beginning with Saubhagya Advertising in Mumbai. Mr. Kuti has organized more than 800 press conferences for the state government as well as many public and private sector organizations. He is one of the founders of Kochi Advertising Club and trustee of the prestigious Pepper Award. I request you, sir, to address the gathering and administer the oath.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I think audible. Is it audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Very good afternoon. Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Usha Titus, our Principal, Dr. Gizala, and Mr. Jairamji, Dr. Vinay Kumar, Mr. Ravindran, and my colleagues and my best friend Geeta Balsara, and Chinmaya, Ram Menon, and Dr. Sheila John, and Dr. Sridevi ma'am. I was, again, it is a double happiness for me because I am from Palakkad. So I was in Bombay, then now settled in Kochi. I am in this profession last 40 years. So I can only, because Geeta and Ravindra was mentioning, as well as Ram was mentioning, that how you can get an internship and kind of a thing where I can give you all the support, because there are around 100 agencies are situated in Kochi, Kerala itself, and more than 200 agencies across South India. I know each one of them personally. You want to be in digital, you want to be in TV channel, you want to be in radio, you want to be in advertising, you want to be in branding. So what Geeta said, you can make a SWOT analysis, the profession of each person's what is their interest. Accordingly, you can send to Ram, and we will get you all the places. People will be placed as an internship. That assurance I can give you from my side, because I am from Palakkad. I thought of one more person has to be in the advertising field. It should be a knowing personality, not in India, across the globe. That is what my interest and kind of a thing. And I wish Mahima Verma and the team, who has been already elected as an official bearer for Mercy College. Wish you all the best. Now I will just read the oath, and then you can all either only Mahima can just repeat it instead of repeating all the other personalities. So just I will read the oath now. As the member of the PRCI YCC Mercy College Palakkad chapter.
PRCI YCC Mercy College Palakkad chapter.
Affirm that.
I affirm that.
I shall abide by the principles and philosophies of the Public Relations Council of India Young Communicators Club.
Public Relations Council of India Young Communicators Club.
I shall strive to stand by the motto to communicate for the better world. I further swear to faithfully discharge by
faithfully discharge my duties
as the member of
as a member of
PRCI YCC Mercy College Palakkad chapter
PRCI YCC Mercy College chapter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
So my special thanks to Geeta, because Geeta and myself was there, and we used to handle Aditya Birla Group entire thing, and she was directly involving and handling the Aditya Birla. And our first experience was the Kumarabangalam Birla, the now chairman of Aditya Birla's son, his marriage. That was our first experience of handling a marriage event. I think Geeta will be now going that way back in 80-81. When good old days in Mumbai. Thank you, Geeta and Ravindran, who have done a good job. And also, I assure Sridevi ma'am, you don't have to worry. We will see that all your students will be placed in internship wherever you want it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the newly sworn office bearers of YCC Mercy College, Palakkad chapter. Now it is time for felicitations. Ms. Chinmay Praveen and Ms. Geeta Shankar should have been here, but because of personal issues, they could not make it today. Nevertheless, we extend our regards to them in their absence. Moving on, we have with us Mr. P. Ramachandran, Chairman, PRCI Palakkad. He is former Systems Engineer in Reliance Textile Industries and Chief Executive of Genicom Computers. He is also the Director of Palakkad Civil Service Academy. I request you, sir, to share your thoughts with us.
A warm good afternoon to all of you. Really, from 10:30 onwards, I was passing through very great moments, because as a lover of Palakkad district, when we think about Palakkad, the academic scene of Palakkad, the two colleges coming to all mind is Government Victoria College and Mercy College. Really, it's a very interesting thing to see that Mercy College has taken up such a project, the YCC, the inauguration of YCC and its activities. Definitely, you have understood the need of public relations, advertisement, and other areas where you are having a lot of job opportunities. Stalwarts from this industry and service industry and other industrial background people have talked to you, and you got an idea. So I will say that the marriage between PRCI and YCC Mercy College has concluded in a very, very interesting and very, very enjoyable way. And now we have to start the life. That is very, very important. So at this point of time, as an academician and as an industrial person, I have got an opportunity to be with both industry and academician. So the greatest difficulty that we are facing, if you look at from the industrial point of view, you are having a lot of qualified people, right, from engineering and other areas. But when we interview, thousands and thousands of people come to our front, but we were not able to select one person from that. A degree postgraduate in computer engineering, when we ask what is a computer, he will not be able to answer that question properly. He'll be talking about a lot, the microprocessor and its performance and everything. But when we talk about, can you explain how a computer can be useful for a common man, it will be difficult. So that means there is a gap. So we have got highly qualified people coming out from Kerala, but unfortunately, if you look at the employability of people, of qualified people coming from, even from our prestigious colleges, I have to say, there is a difficulty facing. It is mainly because the employability factor is not there, those who are coming out from the colleges. So definitely Sridevi Menon was asking a very, very pertinent question. So we had to see that from the very first year of our degree studies up to post-graduation, by the time you go out from the college, you should try to link between what you are going to study and what you are going to do after your study. So that means during our times, knowledge is considered to be power. But nowadays, how you can apply the knowledge you got through from LKG to PhD level, that is going to be your power. And in that, PR and communication plays a major role. If you look at the post of the teacher, no, you have got rank holders. You have got rank holders in different subjects. But when they come to the teaching point of view, we all experience the difficulty. A better teacher may be a teacher who got only second class because he's a good communicator. And if you look at the field of civil services, where I am a trainer for Indian civil service examinations. No, there we don't want brilliant people. We want people who are all-rounders in all fields. We want all-rounders because they are going to interact with the common man, educated person and non-educated person, rich person, poor person, people from different communities. All of them, they have to see with the same eye. That type of quality we should be able to try to develop among our students before they go out of this college. So at this point of view, I am sure that PRCI YCC and YCC Mercy College chapter can do a lot. And since I am from Palghar and we have got Sri Kuti, Sri Vinay Kumar, Sri Ram Menon, all are from Kerala, and we have got a very, very brilliant visionary of this PRCI, Sri MB Jairam sir. So we were really fortunate. We are really fortunate. And I'm sure that we will see that our Palghat is developing through the children coming out from the prestigious colleges like Victoria College and Mercy College and other colleges. And at this point, I like to make one more point. Palghat is going to become an industrial hub. Don't worry about what is past is past. It is totally different. We are going to have a total change in the industrial market when this Cochin, that industrial corridor becomes operational. We are going to get a lot of job here itself. As Mr. Kuti was pointing out, we have got hundreds of good advertising agencies in Kerala, especially in Cochin. And a lot of startups are coming. In fact, we are coming out with a startup in the food park, a totally new product. And for that, marketing that product, we like to have good students who can communicate properly with this thing in the heart. Now, what Mrs. Geeta Valsara was saying, so that is very, very important. So you have to start from the talk from the heart. And I'm sure that our training, YCC, when we will be giving training. We are going to associate in a big way. So we can do a lot of things and we will be there. PRCI Palghat chapter will be the link between Mercy College and other PRCI headquarters and PRCI branches all over India. We will act as a link for you, and I'm sure that we will be able to support you in all the possible ways. And I'm sure that your children are coming out with flying colors in the near future. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk to you in this great morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me invite Dr. Sheena John, Associate Professor and Head, PG and Research Department of English, Mercy College, to address the gathering.
Esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. Usha Titus IAS, keynote speakers, dignitaries from PRCI YCC, Principal Mercy College, Faculty Coordinator, newly sworn in office bearers, and my dear students, good afternoon. PG and Research Department of English, Mercy College is greatly indebted to PRCI YCC for collaborating with us and launching Young Communicators Club for the students of our department. I'm sure that YCC Mercy College chapter will go a long way in molding our students' personalities, honing their talents, and tapping their hidden potentials. This is a new venture for the department, and I hope that our students will make use of this platform and learn from experts in the field of PR and communication. On this occasion, let me acknowledge our gratitude to Mr. Ramsey Menon for taking the initiative to open Mercy College YCC chapter. I wish the faculty coordinator, Dr. Sridevi K. Menon, and the other office bearers of YCC Mercy College chapter the very best. And I would urge my students to make use of this platform and make the most of this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Mr. Ramsey Menon, Director, YCC, to speak a few words.
Thank you, Anne. I thought, okay, before we conclude, I'll share my happiness of opening the Mercy College Palagad YCC, which is the 9th in Kerala. And I'm so happy. And I must say, to start with, I think a huge thanks to Principal Reverend Sister, as well as Sheena ma'am, and of course, Sridevi ma'am. In fact, I have been talking to her for almost for the last 1 month, and she has been a huge support to me. And of course, the entire students who have been part of this actually been a great support to PRCI and me in opening this the second chapter of Palakkad, which is in Mercy College. I would also like to mention Shiny ma'am's name. Shiny ma'am is actually, I understand, the assistant professor in history department of Mercy College, because my first contact was with Shiny ma'am, and Shiny ma'am only introduced me to Sheena ma'am. So I would like to thank Sheena ma'am also on this occasion for connecting me to Sheena ma'am, and there, in fact, the journey started to the forming of Mercy College. I also like to thank Lalita ma'am, who is actually the principal of Chinmaya Kannur. They will be the next YCC to come into Kerala and for attending this function, as well as Vinaya ma'am, who is actually the head of the Department of Communicative English in Chinmaya College, Ernakulam, and Mr. Manu Anthony, who is the head of Management Studies, St. Joseph's College, Devagiri, who have been here to attend this particular function. Also, I would like to acknowledge my friend Pradeep, who is actually from Palakkad itself, who was actually the one who was behind making that video of HODs, and I would like to thank him. And Mahima and Anne, it's a beautiful way of anchoring an event. And both of you have got immense talent and keep enhancing it, actually. I like the way you handled the whole thing. Forget about all those connectivity issues. That is where everywhere in the whole world, actually, when then the COVID era started, actually, we all got into the, on the online space. And whether it is US or whether it's Europe, whether it's Africa, USA, anywhere in India. So the connectivity issues are there. Forget about all those things. But you guys have done a great way of anchoring. And thank you for that, actually. PRCA is thanking you, both of you, for doing that excellent anchoring. And well, the students who have been there as actually our audiences, actually, a huge thanks to them. In fact, they are actually, I at one point of time, it was actually, I thought, okay, Google has even a system which will cross even 100, because it was actually 101, 102, I've been seeing in that. Okay, that's something very happy about it, actually, who are interested in. I must thank Ravindran. In fact, he's our own person, PRCS senior person, and Geeta Balsara for having their time spent on this occasion. And a huge thanks to my mentors here, Jairamji, as well as then Dr. Vinay Kumar. In fact, the support they give me and the encouragement they give me, I will be able to do things like this. Also, Mr. Kuti, who is actually my resource idea bank. Whenever I call him for a resource, like he's there with a resource. Okay. Thank you, Kuti. And thanks everyone. In fact, thanks Usha ma'am, who is actually our chief guest and who has been with us for quite some time. And she spent, I expected actually a little time only from her, but she spent a lot of time. And the way she actually gave that inaugural address was actually, it's a food for thought. How she connected that movie and, the personalities like the Miss India winner. And in fact, it was a huge encouragement to all of you, the students of Mercy College, as the girls, right? And of course, I don't take much. It's already almost 1 now. And thank you so much. I think we would be interacting more in the coming days, and let's work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have come to the end of the program. Ms. Aparna K, Secretary, YCC Mercy College, Palakkad Chapter, will propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. Gratitude is one of the least articulate of emotions when it is deep. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for the event to all the dignitaries assembled here. Let me acknowledge all those who have made it possible today. I, on behalf of Mercy College Palakkad, extend hearty gratitude to the Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Usha Titus IAS, Chairperson and Managing Director, Additional Skill Acquisition Program, who honored the event with her presence and has created an impact with her enlivening words. Thank you, ma'am. You are an exemplary person and we have a lot to learn from you. Next, I would like to thank Mr. MP Jairam, Chairman Emeritus and Chief Mentor PRCI. Thank you, sir, for your valuable and instructive words. We are blessed and privileged to have you amongst us today. I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Geeta Valsara, corporate trainer, mentor, entrepreneur, and academician, and Mr. Ravindran, former GM Corporate Communication NTPC, for today's unique and impactful keynote address. The session was interestingly informative, and the interactive session yielded further clarifications. Wholeheartedly, I would like to thank Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, National President, Public Relations Council of India, for sparing his valuable time to bestow his words of wisdom, and everybody present here. Thank you, sir. Furthermore, I extend my sincere thanks to U.S. Kuti, National Secretary General PRCI, for gracing the occasion with your presence and sharing his thoughtful words. I would like to thank Mr. P. Ramachandra Menon, Chairman, PRCI Palakkad, for their uplifting and positive words. I would like to extend my vote of thanks to Mr. Ram C. Menon, the Director of YCC Kerala, for being a constant support and motivation for organizing this program. I thank all invited guests of PRCI and Mercy College who had been here online with us on this memorable occasion. It's my privilege to thank our principal, Dr. Sister Gisela George, for her support and guidance for such an event. Thank you, sister, for being with us throughout and for giving us a splendid opportunity to be a part of this venture. I would like to genuinely thank Dr. Sheena John, HOD of English Department, for assisting and encouraging all of us and your heartening words today. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a mentor with a positive outlook, Dr. Sridevi K. Menon. I wish to express my deep gratitude to her from the bottom of my heart. An event cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. I owe a big thanks to all the zealous members of the club for their efforts in all endeavors. My duty would not be fulfilled without acknowledging the ardent listeners. That is our audience who have been with us since the beginning of the program. I take this opportunity to offer special gratitude to Ms. Bhavana Kayas and Mr. J. Stone for the technical support they extended for this venture. Thank you all.
Thank you, Aparna. The official vote of thanks is over, but it is not an end, but just a beginning. Words cannot express our joy and gratitude to the PRCI for opening Young Communicators Club chapter in our college. We look forward enthusiastically to many sessions awaiting us, offered by distinguished dignitaries from across the country. We are sure that this collaboration with PRCI would be rewarding and enriching. To express our gratitude better, we have prepared a concluding video and we request all of you to stay with us till the end and then we part only to meet again. Thank you.
Great leaders communicate and great communicators lead. We are elated to be a part of this venture that would nurture young communicators and help them flourish.
Primary objective of YCC is to make students good human beings and responsible citizens.
We are sure that it would enhance our personality, cultivates both social and communication skills, and make us better orators.
We all know, last year the COVID-19 pandemic caused an unprecedented disruption to normal life, and the way we communicate changed seemingly overnight.
Undoubtedly, the pandemic has affected the educational environment, but has definitely opened doors for new opportunities and different modes of learning.
Adapting to the current scenario, it is a matter of great joy that the PRCI has come up with such a great platform for online discussions which would help students achieve their goals through better communication and public selections.
There is a saying that good communication is a bridge between communication and clarity. We hope that this program will indulge students in relevant conversation that would act as a catalyst for social change.
We have the assurance that the activities carried out by this club will boost our confidence and help us understand ourselves and others better.
We hope that the glory of this collaboration would go a long way in transforming young lives and in recodifying our social sense.
We are all delighted to be a part of this club, and we wholeheartedly thank you for opening a YCC chapter in our class. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for joining us on this platform. Thank you for all your wholehearted support and cooperation. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, Sridevi.
Thank you. Thank you.
All our invitees.
Thank you, Ma'am Geeta. Thank you, Mr. Ravindran, sir. Thank you, Ramachandra Menon, sir. Thank you, Kamsi Menon. It's been nice collaborating with you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mahima and Aparna, Mahalakshmi, Alina, everybody who cooperated and enthusiastically responded to our call. And we have never been resting all these days, including myself and Ramji. We have been talking in the morning, at night, WhatsApping always. The students have not been sleeping. I'm happy to find them online every time. So I am really grateful to the principal for giving me an opportunity to take up this responsibility. I thank Shana John. All this comes straight from my heart. Thank you, Ma'am Geeta Balsara, for that wonderful and enlightening session. Thank you, Ravindran sir, for getting the best out of her mouth for us. And thank you, Mr. Kutty sir, for assuring our students recruitment opportunities. Thank you once again, everybody. Thank you very much. Signing off.
Thank you. It's been a big pleasure. Thank you very much. And please reach out to me and
Sure.
we can take this further. Thank you.
We'll be disturbing you frequently.
That's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. You can take my email ID from Kuti and we can stay connected.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.